Well, you are very welcome to Torch in the south of England, just north of Southampton. We're here for round 6 of the 2023 BRCA 1/10 Offroad Nationals. It's the last round of the championship, and I am here with the section chairman, Martin Owen, who has, let's just say, run everything, been the emperor of everything for the last 2 years. So I thought I'd just grab Martin and just do a little post-mortem of how the year has gone and see what he has to say. Martin, I think the championship has so far been absolutely thrilling.
Yeah.
I think the venues have been fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the standard of organisation has been superb.
Yeah.
Coming from your side and the challenges that you face, how would you say the year has gone?
Fast. I can't believe it's the last round already. Yeah, it's been easier this year. I think the second year is always, you know what you're doing. Like with your stuff, you know, your second time doing it. There's things you learn that you can be better at. There's still a lot of learning to do. There's still things I'd like to make better, and we will make better. They're just going to take a bit of time and fine tuning. But for a 6-race series in the middle of what's meant to be a British summer, it's gone very well. Very happy. So.
This year has, with the inclusion of the Euros and the Worlds, been a packed year.
Yeah.
A very full timetable. Do you think there's any leeway for perhaps spreading the championship out a little bit more going forward, or do you prefer to see it condensed?
No, I prefer it spread out, but within being a Worlds year and Euros and Worlds, we decided to try and compact it so that the guys that are going to the Worlds have got a little bit of time to have a break, refresh, get ready, and go and do really well. There's nothing worse than they get to the Worlds and they're just burnt out. So I feel that with finishing it early, we've given those guys a break. I mean, we have juniors and vets next weekend, which is a full meeting of 130 people. We have the F3, 4s and 5s at Durham the first week of September, and then the World starts the following weekend. So there's not a huge amount of F2, 3, 4s and 5s going to the Worlds. There is a couple. But it's certainly it's better giving them a rest, and I think we'll maybe get better results. It's going to be tough. It's not a surface we're used to. We're not used to running on slicks, but we've got a good team of us going. I'll be going. I won't be racing. I'll just be team manager. But it'll be nice for the guys to support them, make sure they're getting all the correct information, and have a really good event.
Well, I know I'm hoping that you're going to be Irish team manager as well, and I'm Polish team manager, so that's going to be great. But just coming back and focusing on this championship, we've had 6 great events, 6 good tracks. Do you see yourself moving away from any of this year's tracks for next year? Will you be introducing new tracks or making changes?
I think we'll have some new tracks. Definitely with Telford, their refit, they'll come back into it. I think Stopfold will come back into it. Unfortunately, we've lost Mendip for big events because they're putting in static homes. So that will just go to sort of a regional club venue again. I wouldn't want to do Mendip again anyway. That broke me that week. So being my home club. Yeah, so I think maybe Nemo, maybe Durham. So yeah, there'll certainly be different tracks next year, but you'll still have your standards, your Robin Hoods, your Torch, you know, Balton. Balton we almost got to go to because it's such a leveler. And it is a brilliant track, well presented, just like this. I mean, the presentation here this weekend has been unreal, and the bad weather is not really showing it off at how good it is, but it is very, very good.
I have to say, as a relative outsider coming in and having a go of this championship a couple of times over the years, Boughton is probably the most attractive one for me because I know everybody is going there for the first time in 12 months. Yeah. While turning up at Southport, knowing that guys have done thousands of laps, is not great. Martin, it's raining really badly. We're going to pick this up in a few minutes.
We will do it again, or we can do it tomorrow.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back, and you will have noticed the weather has changed considerably. It's Sunday now. Sun is out, track is drying. We've had a couple of showers, but yesterday we had to call the interview a little bit short because we were starting to get rained on. But I am here with Martin Owen, in case you've somehow flicked through to the second half of the interview, chairman of the section of the BRCA. And we've had a little chat about how the championship went this year and what you're thinking about doing next year. Let's talk about let's talk about where you'd like to see the championship go. There's a good chance that some of the faster drivers are going to retire this year.
Yep.
There's a good chance that we will have a whole new crop of top drivers coming through.
Yeah.
How is the BRCA going to continue to develop this nursery of talent, and how do you, what's your outlook for the future?
So my outlook, the way we're going to nurture it, the way I see the outlook in it, it starts at the lower level of club racing and regionals. Regionals is something over the winter we want to look at to get them kind of, so wherever you go in the country to a regional, they're kind of the same, so they're trying to try and get the same formats, so that when our juniors come to a big national, it doesn't feel strange, it doesn't feel weird. 3-leg A finals, controlled practice, those various things. So that's something we're going to try and work on to get it so the juniors can be nurtured up through then. We still have our juniors and veteran championship, the one-off race. There's no qualification for that, so any junior that enters gets in. It doesn't matter, you know, what they've raced, who they raced, as long as they're a BRCA member, they get in to do that race. And that, again, is a good stepping stone. It's 3-leg A finals for the A guys. So that's the way we're looking at it. I know Chris Bowden, our, what is Chris again? He's our driver's rep, that's the one. I got so many people to deal with. He's going to go and hold some racing schools as such. He's going to do some stuff, I believe at Midlands and a few other places, and just get youngsters in looking, trying cars. Stuff like that will, you know, grow. The arrive and drives like we've had at Milton Keynes GP help. It'd be really interesting to know in 10 years if someone comes on the racing and goes, yeah, I first tried a car at MKGP, because you need one person that's made that event worth it. So that is how I see the future of the sport. And also, but our juniors that are here today, all juniors win something, which I think is a great thing. They get to, you know, show their friends, look, I got a medal, I got a board, I got whatever, which is great. They go to school, they share it. That's another thing we've really worked on through the last couple of years, is making sure that they all get something and that they're treated fairly. It is hard as a junior racing with adults at times, and it does produce some real challenges. I know racing as a kid, sometimes you beat an adult and they're a little bit annoyed and they kind of lose it, and they don't like being beaten by kids. That's the wrong attitude to have. If you're at a track and a kid beats you, congratulate them, do everything you can to keep them racing. You know, so I mean, my experience, Harry Mears got his F1 today. He's someone that I started racing with 8 years ago in the Southwest, and kind of took him under my wing and nurtured him, and he's just getting better and better and better. And that's what you got to do when you have these juniors at your clubs, is support them. Don't see them as, oh well, they're beating me. That's that's the wrong way. Get them in there, support them, and get them doing bigger events. Don't just say, oh, I'll just do club racing. No, get them doing regionals, get them racing at nationals, because you know we've all got future world champions, and you don't know where it leads. You look at, I mean, I know it gets talked about 100 times, but you look at Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Pistorius. I mean, they're F1 drivers. They started racing toy cars for scale model sport. So yeah, so.
Well, look, Martin, that all makes perfect sense and seems very achievable. How about we move away from the people and start looking at the facilities and the clubs that are involved? Certainly the clubs that I've experienced of in Ireland and the ones here, it's all very similar. But sometimes when we go away to Europe, we see much more clubs that are built around a social aspect. There can often be a meeting hall or a bar or something, people meet there all the time. Do you ever see, is it just a cultural thing? Do you ever see that sort of developing here?
I do, and we've seen it. We've had it in the past. It has drifted away a little bit. I think that's more down to venues. I think because a lot of venues used to be in rugby clubs or in football clubs, and now they're their own thing. This is a little bit different. This is at a school. But if you take Robin Hood, it's in a field, it's its own thing. Telford's the same. So, yeah, I think, like you said, when we go to the Euros and things like that, it's like more of a social thing. And I think it is within clubs. We just maybe at this level don't see it as much. But certainly the one thing with nationals, I think the nationals kind of becomes a club. You know, everyone seems to get on really well, and it becomes a bit of a thing, and everyone does look after each other. One of the things I always heard were, Nationals, they're a little bit cliquey and a little bit this. I can tell you, Nationals is probably one of the friendliest places you ever race an RC car.
No, I fully agree with that. Okay, well look, thanks for chatting to us. Is there anything else, anything you'd like to raise or anything like that?
No, really, just thanks to yourself for everything you've done in the last couple of years. I believe our coverage of Nationals is probably the best in the country. I quite happily say that. And just hope we can continue doing it. And thanks to the team and all the racers, really. It's been a good year, and we'll try again next year.
Great, well thank you very much. That's a big compliment. And yes, hopefully we'll be back next year, starting in April or May or something, and another exciting year. It'll be fantastic.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.